Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time. Mega rich light bending guy. Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich light bending guys.
There was a guy in the container, but he didn't bend any light. That was in the detective's head.
Honestly, guys, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the mega-rich guy inside the container and harvest his energy to power the harbour's fog light. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry. I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing, but the Union did not get where we are today by Anyway, I assure you, I am a... Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry. See you soon, Deba... Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry. Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. Let's hear it, Harry.
Everard's large hands are covered.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as all. Let's hear it, Harry.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just...
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolute...
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy...
A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Yes, my best men are What's that, Harry?
An intricate web of blue line. It's still kind of... It's just a race. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece.
It belongs inside a radio computer.
It's like the production someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. That's implausible.
mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can... No trouble at all, mister. Oh, hey, mister. Sure, mister. Absolutely.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you? Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
A rusting control panel. The crane does not An imposing combination of the machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for calling. Calling. Still calling. Then
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy, how may I help? Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. No. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? Let me fire up the machine. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November 46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one. It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Egidius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia. No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the
corner of Voyager and Main, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video rep tiny hills tiptoeing down the road. Beautiful steps. Suddenly you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it.
That's enough for you today. Let's conclude this call.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic. Our personal dynamic has...
He means very little.
Your race descent has temporarily
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic. Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans, the other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are to overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat. As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in red. The Areopagites, the latter.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B are, to an untrained eye, the Koiko. Pinkness is a racial qua. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of the Vasholians, halfway.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over. Like the revolution came to The revolution is fatal, familial. Enough of tips. The F are a museum of failed chimeric lesser races like the mosquito. A grotesque mixture of a The mosquito is born step. Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you the Koiko, as you know, are very. This will, but enough. It is cruel to you understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is. You need to internalize what you have heard here today. Then I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease? Racists are generally not very good examples. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection.
True, that is a noble cranium, but you got a hard knock in yourself.
Your silence betrays your inferiority. You do not have a reply. You should enter a deep race slumber. Perhaps
He does not so much as glance at the.
Stop showing me your
Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
I am not the first line of defense. The hardy manlets are on the peg. Now leave me. So it was. You bested me in race combat to reach my superior. Then had him give me.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard.
That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union's side.
Fine. Goodbye. Return to your.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that, but it's also more. Perhaps it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. I knew we could trust you. Remember, Real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol.
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading up. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know.
Okay, but where did you get the...
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked... None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you...
Who he is, and what they're fighting for.
We're negotiating our share. Aye. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent business. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world. The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a... Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway.
Not you would like to say. But then there's that weasel door.
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. And none of the above kind of man. No harm in being that. Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately,
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time, it all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of that of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions. No. The man sits on the railing. His
the mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to... I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union...
He means a more violent faction could easily take...
Understood. This has been of limited use.
No problem. I wish...
Went native on the chief, huh?
Wrong. You did the right thing with Measurehead. The ballerina antics won you the fight.
Let's talk about our right to work. When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act, it beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights.
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciate. You've been talking to him for quite a while now.
What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together.
A monstrous shadow high above the fire traps of the domain. The 881 motorway running over this district of Jamrock. Concrete pillars rise up from the midst of the dilapidated wooden houses. On the horizon, barely visible, the hazy life in the domain is even worse off than in Martinez. Below, broken down, battered people mill on the dusty streets with no purpose. Yet amongst them, there is no sight of this man.
Yeah? What makes you say that? They know me. That's bullshit.
A lorry stuck.
Can I help you?
Another thing.
Yes?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you. He looks up at you, then looks away. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know. The mention of mañana gets his attention. They're friends. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then seems to wait for you to speak.
Horse need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself!
The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak. You see a heavy The door does not budge. The door...
Over here. Let me handle this.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
Not a muscle moves in her face.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our...
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Obviously, I'm a lawyer. A legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. What you want is of no significance, officer.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's... You will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
What are we going to do to you?
You were specifically asked not to say that, and then you said it anyway. You junior delinquent.
The Union isn't going to do anything.
Goddamn right.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. Aggressive, you make your living enforcing violence. These...
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects.
Listen, you Moralington lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then